Welcome back to another Nova Flow. And if this is your first time here, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you all for sharing your light with me and letting me share mine with yours. This routine today is all about giving some attention and some nourishment to the knees as well as the hips because they're so closely related. But as always, we'll be touching on the whole body and of course the spine as well, because all ailments we feel usually stem back to the core of our body. We're going to be starting in a table position. So just getting on our hands and knees and creating a nice box-like shape. And right away, we always just want to start feeling out our body intuitively. And just starting to kind of roll the hips from side to side, right, forward and backward slightly. And just feeling out the relationship of our spine with our hips, as well as those knees grounded down. So feeling out how the pressure feels of the knee against the floor or the mat. And just kind of massaging those areas and starting to find our breath. Very good. We're going to slowly walk our knees just a little closer together if they're wide, and our hands a little further back. So we're closing our box shape a little bit for some cat and cow. We'll tuck our toes. And as we inhale, let your belly and chest draw down towards the floor, and your gaze looks forward as you squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then as you exhale, just go ahead and round the back, tuck the chin down, and push your arms down into the earth. Right, inhale, we come through that again, nice and neutral. Weight is even in the knees and the hands. As we inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades, and then exhale, round the back, tuck the chin. We're gonna take one more. And then nice and slow, just take your right elbow, lift the hand, and drop that forearm. We'll lean our weight onto the right side with our left leg extending back behind. So the goal here is to just feel some length through this hip as we drive our knee back into our chest, keeping our hips squared up. Feel the core engage slightly, and then extend that leg back out long. Right? Try to flex the leg. Feel the muscles kind of squeezing against the bones. Play with the ankle point and pull, or create an ankle circle. And then we're going to take about 5 more of these little donkey kicks. So driving the knee back into the chest, feel the core engage and extending back long, flexing through that entire leg. Right? The harder you squeeze that leg, the more you'll feel a stretch in the knee, in the kneecap. For 2 more. Just feeling those energies move around, boosting some blood flow. And then as we bring that knee back down to our table, we lift back up to that right hand and thread the needle with the left arm going underneath towards the right side. So starting to melt the left shoulder down to the ground, relaxing the shoulder and the temple. If you can release there. Take one more breath, just feeling a nice twist through the spine. As we come out of that needle thread, left elbow drops right down to the ground, leading your weight onto that left arm and left knee as we extend the right leg back behind us. Right, drive that knee back down, engage the core, and then go ahead and lengthen back out through that leg, flexing through the quad and glute. And then slowly exhale to drive that knee back. Inhale to extend that leg long like you're stamping a hole through the wall behind you with your heel. And then go ahead and drive that knee back in. Right, and the goal is to just feel space be created. Use your intuition and your instincts. Little donkey kicks. On this next rep, go ahead and hold that leg straight and play with the ankle. Roll out the toes. Roll the heel. And then go ahead and drive that knee back in. We'll take 2 more this time. Very good. Bringing that knee back under the hip, kind of wider. We lift that left hand back up and then thread the needle. Right arm comes down and through. Take 2 more breaths. You can feel the hips shift from side to side. 1 more breath to relax into this twist. And we'll slowly come back up. And we're going to come off the hands and knees, but before we do so, see if you can lift up both your feet, maybe finish off rolling out those ankles. And then see if you can pivot your feet from side to side. We're going to pivot the feet to the left side as we slowly try to sit down slowly. You can walk your hands back to guide you down to a seat. And you might be on top of, one leg on top of the foot. So we're going to just slide the feet a little bit away from the body. And it's okay if you're crooked. You might not even be on a mat. So just using the floor, all the space we have to feel. So you can shift from side to side, right? We're creating these 90 degrees through the hips and the knees and even the ankles. And ultimately trying to create a 90-degree angle as well with your spine, trying to sit up straight, creating that 90-degree angle with the spine to the floor. Okay, nice and easy. We're going to start to bring our feet back towards our body. And see if you can lean your weight into both your legs, 1 hand on each side, and then try to lift your seat off the ground. And you can stay low like that, stay shallow. Just trying to create more activation now, pressing the hips up. And if that feels pretty good, you can try to lift your hands and lift your hips all the way. Coming back down very slowly just for 1 more rep. Good, checking in there. See if you can reach your hands to the sky. And then exhale, we come back down, leaning over the right knee, the knee in front of our belly. Right, that left leg behind us more so is going to extend out in front of us to be straight. So the right leg can stay pretty bent. We're just going to check in with the straight leg as we try to sit up tall, try to find a nice base, a nice grounding so we can root down, which will help us grow taller. Option to extend the arms high. As we exhale, try to turn towards the straight leg. Inhale, option to interlace your fingers or just reach high. And start to pulse as you exhale, leaning forward towards that straight leg. So creating a dynamic movement, folding over that leg and then sitting back up straight. For 3, for 2, and for 1. Very good. As we come back up, hands come behind the body and we rotate both legs over to the right side or to the other side. Okay, so again, it's okay if you're crooked. You should be kind of facing more towards the other side of the room. And then try to space out your feet, kicking them away from the body a little bit and trying to create, again, some surface area below you. And just feeling out the space around you. Contorting the body from side to side, little twists or little leans, wherever your breath speaks to you. And then start to slide those feet back in towards the hips a little bit, so tighter through the knees. And there's no rush here to feel out the weight leaning forward and backward, 1 hand on each leg. And for this pose, this is our deer pose. One side always feels so different than the other because we are human and we're not perfectly symmetrical. And we have a dominant side and we do so many tasks throughout the day that might be uneven. And that's totally normal, totally okay, totally perfect. See if you can start to lean over those legs and maybe lift those hips off the ground. And maybe come all the way up to a thrust. Right, taking this at your own pace. You can stay grounded, stay shallow, or come up a little higher for 2 more. And then as we come back down, that right leg, the one that's more behind us, kicks forward to be straight. Just checking in with our grounding once more for another moment. Roll out that ankle a little bit, crack the toes. Rooting down. And then as we inhale, extend our arms nice and high. As we exhale, try to rotate our body towards the straight leg. Inhale, optional to interlace your fingers or grab a thumb, any type of bind. And then exhale, folding. And inhale to come back up. All right, creating more of a pulse, more of a dynamic movement. Back and forth. For 3. For 2. And for 1. This time we're going to swing both legs back behind us and come to lay on your stomachs. All right, no rush to do so here. Laying down nice and relaxed on the belly. You can rock the hips from side to side as you get your elbows up high and wide. Hands can stack right underneath of your face. You can rest your chin or your forehead as you bend your knees and just take these little sways from side to side. Flattening through the front of your hips, now your quads. Right, and once you feel like you can scoot your knees a little closer together so you're tightening up the legs, relax the head down and see if you can press one foot up towards the ceiling. Just one side at a time, and then switch. So just this little pulse, lifting that whole leg off the ground. A couple times, alternating sides. Moving slowly, cautiously. Just feeling which muscles activate to make that lift or to try to make that lift. Good, resting everything down here. Right leg is going to straighten. We can look to the left as the left hand reaches back, trying to grab the ankle or the foot or the heel. Just for one deep breath. If you have a grip, you can pull the foot down or pull the foot to the side. If you don't have a grip, it's totally okay. Just work on that activation and bending the knee. And then we're going to switch sides. So left hand comes back, left leg is straight. Right arm sweeps back. As we bend the knee and look towards that right side, you can rest the head down on the hand. Squeeze the foot towards the bum or off to the side. For one more breath. Very good. Moving into our final pose, child's pose. We extend those legs back. Hands come kind of like a push-up by our side. You can adjust your belly as needed, maybe lifting your body up a little bit into a cobra. And then we'll slowly lift up just halfway to shift through our knees, maybe walking the knees forward and seeing if we can slowly untuck our toes and shift our hips towards our feet. And you can do this a couple times, especially if you're struggling to make contact with your hips against your heels. Just warming that up. This can be a big stretch for the knees. But if it feels good, go ahead and extend your arms forward a little further and try to melt your head and your chest down to the earth. We're going to take just 2 more breaths here. Finding a sense of peace, even if you feel an edge physically. Feeling a deep stretch. Telling yourselves thank you for this practice. And we'll slowly start to come out and find a seat or lie down flat to your back. Right, as always, take your time if you need to meditate for a little bit and lie flat and long. This will be a great finisher for you, but I'll leave you at your own time to do so. And I encourage you to do so and just kind of listen to all the sounds around you or play a nice soothing music for yourself and meditate, process, let your body absorb all the benefits and all the energies that you've released and process through them. I thank you again for sharing your light with me and practicing with me today. I hope you found what you were looking for, and I hope to see you again soon. Namaste.